Deep South is a microcosm of ignorance, stooped in the denial of the fact that they're not the only state in this country. America was named after an Italian man, Amerigo Vespucci, who painted a picture with his words so magnificently that they named the country after him. The whole idea of America came from Amerigo Vespucci. He said, look at this giant land, look at all this beautiful land, this free land. Anybody could come here and be a free person and live as the individual that they want to live as and accomplish their dreams. And so the media, because there's no bans in the subliminal technology in the media, they take that idea and they twist it and they demoralize it, and they call it awake movement. So you have this word enlightenment, and you have the word epiphany, and you get an epiphany and you are enlightened and you are awakened in a new thought process, a new way of thinking, and kind of like agape love of what Jesus spoke about. And then you have the media that does the opposite, and they turn everything into the opposite, into this evil thing. And they twist your minds and they convince your children that they need to change their sexes. They convince your children and the adults that it's okay for a dude to have boobs, for a woman to defile her body and butcher it and chop off his genitalia to be called a she, when the DNA specifically says what sex they are. But their brains are so fucking twisted from the media, because there's no bans in subliminal advertising of the technology, that they think that that's the right thing, when they're brainwashed to do the wrong thing and they don't even fucking know it. So here's a theory. What if those lizard people in the Philippine Islands, in that cave that's 40 stories high, that has an Amazon forest in it, and it goes into the chasms of the depths of the Philippine Islands, and they say that's where the lizard people come from. But here's the thing. In an Amazon rainforest, there wouldn't be an abundance of lizards. It would be more like amphibians, amphibious reptiles. And we all know what a newt can do. If a newt gets his arm chopped off, just like a lizard, it can regrow the arm. But what if these lizard people, these so-called amphibious creatures that are anthropomorphic, human like us, have human attributes like us, walk on their hind legs like us? What if they develop the brain capacity to be able to change not only their colors, their stripes? What if they were able to totally metamorphosize their bodies into looking exactly like a human being? What if those amphibious creatures were able to change their sexes because there was no other opposite sex for them to mate with, and that was the only way of reproduction? Well, there's an astounding reason to theorize this, because if you look to where the whole man lady thing came from, that came right out of the Philippine Islands. That's where it originated. That's ground zero. So let me reiterate the fact that the Today Show had the president or the prime minister of the Philippine Islands was a female. And she said that what we do in the Philippine Islands on the social media is that we spread a lie around until it is accepted as the truth by exactly 1 million people. And these are her words exactly. And once those 1 million people believe the lie is the truth, then we put it out as a web of deceit onto the internet. And we spread this magnificent evil way of thinking throughout the whole world. And then the whole world believes the lie is the truth. So what was the lie that's the truth that started in the Philippine Islands? It's a-okay to butcher yourself and change your sex. Well, no, it's not. Because in the Bible, does it not say that your body is your temple and to treat it as that? Well, that kind of makes a lot of sense to me, because it says in the Bible, God says himself, my name is written into your blood. And they found out by science, the scientific method, that that's true. The word Yahweh is in our blood at every bridge of our DNA. 5, 10, 6, 5 repeating. And in Hebrew that spells out, behold, behold, I have nails in my hands. So you got this other propaganda that's coming out of Russia, right? And he comes up with all these pictures and photographs and stuff. Jesus was really black. Maybe he just had a couple decades to just sit back and get a bunch of masterpiece forgers to forge all this stuff. Did anybody even ask that question? You know why Putin's doing this, right? It's a propaganda effect to turn all the black people against the white people in America, to try to start another civil war on our grounds. See, the first thing I was taught when I went to that privileged high school, Servite, is that you always have to question authority. You just don't bend over and let the authority constantly fuck your civil liberties over. This is not America anymore. If you think America exists the way it did 20, 30 years ago, you have your fucking heads up your proverbial assholes. This is a country of idiocracy, where they defunded most of the educational system to where the children don't even learn how to tell time on a conventional face clock anymore. They don't even teach the kids how to write in cursive writing anymore. They took away all the funding for all the trades, carpentry, plumbing, pottery, metalworking. They took that out of all the schools because some fucking asshole president decades ago opened up the borders to allow all these migrant workers to come over here for cheap labor. And the corporations saw that was happening. So the corporations convinced all the politicians to drop all the funding for the kids to learn the trades in schools. So then they think, well, shit, we got all, then the kids graduate high school and they think, well, we got all the migrant workers. Now we're going to have our American dream, and we're going to have the privileged jobs in technology and STEAM and such. Well, that's bullshit. You know where all the doctors are coming from and all the nurses are coming from? Mainly the doctors. All the doctors today come from India, Africa, China. And what they do is they get half of their education in the country that they're from, and then they come over here to America as with student visas, and they get paid to finish their school in America. And then they come over here, and then they stay here, and they take all our STEAM jobs, science, technology, engineering, astronomy, and math. I don't know why they added an A in there. We didn't call it STEM. I don't know what the A's for. The next couple generations is absolutely doomed to damnation. Oh, let's make all the gypsum board in China now, right? So you got the week after 9/11, and the months after 9/11 occurred. This is from my cousin Alan Zizi. He runs the gypsum plant over in Niagara Falls, and these are his words exactly. He said, yeah, I run the gypsum plant, and it's my job to just watch over the machinery and make sure it's still functional, so that one day, God willing, we'll get our gypsum factory opened again, and they'll finally realize that all the shit that China's putting out, the gypsum board that is, that's drywall board, in case you didn't know that, is being poisoned. He told me this at least a decade before, after 9/11, when they were building all those houses on the East Coast with the Chinese gypsum board, and the dust was going into the HVA systems, and dozens and dozens of Americans that moved into that neighborhood got cancer, and a majority of them died from the cancer from inhaling the gypsum board poison. But China has absolutely no human rights laws, and China wants to take over America. So this is their nefarious plot. It will poison everything in the factories that's made in America, and then we'll send it over to these innocent American family people, and we'll fucking wipe half of them out. But see, you were never taught to question authority. You're too fucking goddamn stupid. You see, here's the thing about geniuses like myself. Everybody else is mentally challenged. That's how I see you all. And it's like the mentally challenged that I see in you people is no different than people with Down syndrome. Your short-term memory is like one fucking night. I'll tell you a story about myself, and you forget it the next fucking goddamn day, because there's no bands in the subliminal technology to allow you to keep your short-term memories. And this ill effect is turning you all into the Legion. So this is not America anymore. And who's the devil that's running it? The corporations. The corporations have leagued themselves as one sordid criminal entity, and they play the avatar of Satan himself. And my fellow Americans, you are the Legion, and you have been brainwashed subliminally to carry out the devil's work, and you're not even aware of it. So, you know why you're not aware of it? Because you refuse to trust a genius like me that always questions authority. And while he's questioning authority, he compiles evidence, 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 until the evidence is so phenomenally high that you can't deny it. But you still deny it. You know why? Because the truth fucking hurts. And that's the kind of hurt that you can't fucking deal with.